Hey everyone, it is Thursday, August 3rd, 2017, and it's time to go to work on music. It's been a really good day so far. I'm in a great place and excited for a productive session. Actually, had a meeting cancel today, so I've got an extra long session, which I'm really, really excited about. It's been a long time since I've gotten super duper deep in the zone, and I think the next few days are going to be hitting the music front pretty hard, which is a great way to kick off sort of the last push of this year to get this record completed. So, gonna hit some online classes. I'll probably spend a little more time on that than I usually do, just because I have some more time in the session. I will do probably a relatively quick light drum practice, but I'll see how that goes. I'll give myself room to breathe if I want. And then I'm going to hit the production front hard, get some effects set up for a riff for the bridge section, track that riff, hopefully get that done, and then probably start setting up for drum tracking and or adjust the track arrangement a little bit to prepare for drum tracking in the next few days. So I've got some great velocity this week as far as moving forward goes. I've realized now that my workflow is a little more established, it's much easier for me to knock things out quickly, and I'm excited to pick up the pace and really just kick butt as much as I possibly can, much as I possibly can with this album. I really gonna do it right, give it the best. I'm gonna just make it the best I can possibly make it, given the resources, time, and place that I am right now in my development. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let's get into the session. I'll try to explain as much as I can as we go. All right, very good session overall today. Started with the online class front and was just getting more launch day tips. It's like 30 minutes of video worth of launch day tips in the actual class itself. The business class, by the way, is called The Online Musician, and the website is savvymusicianacademy.com, I think. So a couple Google searches will probably help you find it. The instructor's name is Leah McHenry, Leahmchenry. I've been really pleased with it so far. I think the proof will be in the pudding, what kind of results I can get out of the information that she's giving. I'm sure the information she's giving is very good. Definitely seems to apply to a lot of people's situations, not just hers. But it is nice to get her personal tips also. And I'm really enjoying the class. And at the same time, I don't think I'm going to make a judgment call on the overall quality of it until I see the results. So moved forward to a little bit of my harmony class, was just getting the next assignment, which is just to make a song section out of a repeating set of chords. I probably shouldn't even mention that, it's pretty small. Then I moved on to a quick drum practice. Probably spent about 20-30 minutes or something like that. That's like pretty typical of what I'm doing right now. And just kind of, again, working on staying relaxed, staying composed, and getting my ideas out as accurately as I can, and practicing improvising as well. Then took a short break, did a little bit of reading out of my recording secrets for the small studio book. No huge takeaways there today. And then got it on the production front, listened back to some of the riffs I was tracking yesterday, did a little bit of editing and mixing and sort of playing around with, do I want some delay, do I want some reverb, what do I really want this to sound like, and got something that was pretty good. Experimented with a couple different ideas, some of which were good, some of which were not that good, and then I just thought, okay, let's get back into tracking this thing, and actually I just decided to track with those effects off, and just make sure I get the best basic track with no sauce or anything like that on top of it. And then I feel like when I add a little bit of seasoning in later on, it'll be seasoning something that's already enough by itself, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just did a bunch of takes, just experimenting with a couple different styles. A couple takes I did were really tight with the rhythm. A couple takes I did were really loose. A couple takes I did were really like just raw emotion and not really thinking about the hitting the perfect notes or anything like that. Just seeing if I got any happy accidents. And then I sort of pulled it back at the end and did a couple takes that were a little tighter. And I found that it can be a good exercise to just like totally let loose and just do like the pure emotional takes without worrying about the click track or rhythm or anything like that, and then pull it back and do some takes that are on the other extreme and then aim for like a middle ground. And there's something about like mixing and melding those elements that can really work. It's not something that I'll do every single time, but it's definitely a good go-to move if you're struggling to get the part to feel and sound and communicate what you want it to communicate. So singing the part also can really help, just singing it with some of the inflections you want. I found that's really, really helpful and just helps me have a goal instead of just like, oh, I'll just see how this sounds. You know, it's like, okay, I want it to sound this way. What do I want to do with my fingers, my body? What are the effects, inflections, little things like that make a huge difference. And that's a big thing that Joe Satriani was talking about at the G4 camp this year that I went to last week. And some of those takeaways are starting to marinate in my mind and kind of starting to come out a little bit, filtering out from my practice. And I know I said I would talk about those more. I'm not sure if you guys are expecting that. I apologize if I haven't, but if you guys want to hear more about that, just let me know, and I'm happy to do like a summarizing video or something like that. And I'll definitely do that as I go back to the recordings. That's not the main goal right now. I want to get this record done, but I'm happy to share like what's bubbling up. But one thing that bubbled up to the surface today is Joe did an entire clinic on different types of inflections, different types of tricks and of the trade that really make a guitar, the electric guitar, a unique voice in a song different than what you do with like a cello or a piano or something like that, you know. So sort of moving beyond just like the melody and the harmony to what are the unique seasoning aspects that you can communicate and express with that specific instrument. So I was really getting into that mindset with this part, thinking like, moving my finger here, should I slide? How long should this note be? Should it be a short note? Should it be a longer sustained note? Like, where do I want, should it be a percussive attack? Should it be like a slow attack that sort of like smoothly starts the note? And like, where do I want those different effects? And I think it's good to consider those deep aspects. I think for some people, they really like that approach of thinking about that stuff and analyzing it. Some people just want it to flow freely, and a lot of people are probably different places on that spectrum. So I'd just invite you guys to try it out if you're guitar players or whatever you are on your instrument or whatever you're doing. I'm sure those ideas of like going into the most nuanced aspects of things and zooming out to the big picture, there's value in both. So anyway, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hope you got something out of today's video. Hope you guys are out there grinding towards your goals, enjoying the process like I always say. That's what I'm out here doing. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for more. Till then.